We start with a chapter that is solid states. Now जब हम solid state के बारे में बात करते हैं, the most important thing which we need to remember is कि solid is that form of matter which has got rigidity. Okay, and that's why it has got a particular geometry. Now when I use the word geometry, that means it has got shape and it has got size. Now the problem with the liquid and the gaseous state is, when you talk about the liquid, we say that it doesn't have a geometry. It assumes the geometry of the container in which it is going to be stored. And obviously container is going to be a solid. And when you talk about a gas is obviously doesn't have any sort of a geometry. So this is what the difference between the solid, liquid and gas is. So in the solid case, what we say is that amongst the constituent particles, the forces of attraction is going to be very, very strong, which gives the rigidity to it. Rigidity matlab kya? They are fixed. They are not going to change. Okay, so that is what the importance of a solid substance is. Now, depending upon the arrangement of the constituent particles, the solids are basically classified into two categories. One is called as a crystalline solid and the other is called as amorphous solids. Okay, once again I repeat, depending upon the arrangement of the constituent particles, solids are going to be classified into two categories. One is crystalline and the other is going to be amorphous. Now, when we talk about crystalline solid, now crystalline solid basically is nothing but, it is that type of a solid where there is going to be a orderly arrangement. Or we can also use another word for orderly, and that is there is a regular repetitive arrangement. Okay, regular repetitive arrangement of constituent particles taking place. So there is a particular pattern which is going to be followed. Okay, and that particular solid is being called as what? A crystalline solid. Okay, I give you an example also now, and that is the most basic term that we need to remember is, and that is what? Lattice. Now what do you mean by a lattice is that every particular solid structure which is going to be composed of either atoms or ions or molecules are being arranged in a particular space, and the space in which those are being arranged is called as a lattice. Alright, so when I am going to talk about, say this is going to be a lattice, and I am going to arrange the atoms, ions and the molecules inside this particular lattice in this particular manner. So if you can have a look at this case, that every layer is being made up of or composed of a definite number of atoms or particles, I will say in general. When I talk about particles, please remember I am referring to either atoms, ions or molecules. So you can see over here, there is a repetitive pattern which is going to be here. There are 3 atoms over here, 3 atoms over here, 3 atoms over here. That means in other case, okay, suppose now here there is a 4th layer. And if I am going to ask you how many number of particles are going to be present over here, you are going to be very confident and will say that there are going to be 3 particles. It cannot be 4, it cannot be 2, because of the confidence level is only, the reason is over here that the pattern which is going to be followed is regular. And such solids are called as what? Crystalline solids. Next thing is, when the pattern is going to be regular, the arrangement is going to be regular. This arrangement is related to the geometry. And when I use the word geometry, that means I am going to basically talk about the shape as well as the size. And therefore, we now comment that for the crystalline substances, the geometry is regular. The reason is because the arrangement is going to be regular. That means the shape and the size is going to be regular. Next thing is, because of the orderly arrangement, the force of attraction which is going to be existing amongst the particles will be of equal strength. Alright, will be of what? Equal strength. And as a result of which, the entire solid is going to melt at a single temperature. Melt at a single temperature. And this is being known as sharp melting point. Because you must be knowing very well that whenever we talk about melting point, what are we actually doing? Yes, we are supplying heat to the solid so that it melts, it gets converted into a fused state. Now, the amount of energy that has to be supplied so that the bond is going to become weaker and therefore the substance is going to melt, that will in turn depend upon the force of attraction which is existing between the particles. Now here, as I say, that the arrangement is very regular, there is a repetitive pattern, there is an orderly arrangement, and therefore we are going to say that the force of attraction, the strength of that is going to be same. And when the strength is going to be same, so it's very obvious that at a single temperature, the entire solid is going to melt. And that's why we say that the crystalline solids have a sharp melting point. Alright. Now when we go into the experimental part, in the laboratory techniques, we must be using crystalline, matlab it is water soluble. But that is not, my dear friend, the exact definition of a crystalline substance. Alright. Now because see what happens is that in a laboratory when we are carrying out some test, and the chemistry particles which is at your level, at your 11th and 12th standard level, where we don't have any sophisticated instruments to be handled. So what we do is we just go for a generalization, and therefore only those compounds which are water soluble, crystalline, they have been kept in your syllabus, and water insoluble, amorphous, that are kept in your syllabus. But this is being very clear that here we are not discussing about any experimental techniques, we are talking about some theory terms, and theoretically, please be very clear, crystalline is strictly nothing but it is the orderly arrangement of the particles. That is what a crystalline solid is. It's not being related to water solubility, because we can find that crystalline solids are water soluble, at the same time we can find our crystalline solids are water insoluble as well. So please try to remove that particular definition from your mind when you are actually making a theoretical preparation of this particular chapter. Alright. Now the next thing is, there are various properties which are there of a solid. Say for example, there are mechanical properties. Okay, then there are some optical properties. Optical properties are related to color and all that. Mechanical properties related to the strength, the tensile strength of a solid substance. Now, whenever those properties are being observed for a crystalline substance, then from a different directions, the properties are going to change. Okay, from different directions, that means as we are going to change the directions, the properties that is mechanical and optical is going to change. And as a result of which we are going to say that it is going to be what? Anisotropic. That means we say that the properties are going to be different from different directions. Okay, and that is what we call it as what? Anisotropic. The examples which can be given under this particular case is about sodium chloride. Okay, the best example, NaCl, comes under this category of, that is crystalline solid. Okay, so that was the first part of the solid which I was talking about, which is primarily based on the arrangement. Now after crystalline, we go into the next part, and that is we talk about amorphous solids. Now when you talk about an amorphous solid, we need to first of all say that the arrangement is random, irregular. There is a lot of disorder which is there in the arrangement of the particles. That means once again, if I want to explain you with the help of a diagram part, let us consider this as a lattice. Okay, and then the arrangement will be something like this. Okay, so the number of particles are continuously changing. It's becoming 2 in the first case, then it is 4, then it is 3. So if there is a fourth part over here, and if I want to ask you that how many number of atoms are going to be present over here, then you are not in a position to precisely tell me that how many number of particles are going to be present over there. Why it is so? Why there is some confusion? Why you cannot go for a precise answer? Because it is not going to follow a regular pattern. Okay, it's randomness, there is disorderness in the arrangement is concerned. So that's me, there is a question mark over here. So such a type of a solid is being called as what? An amorphous solid, where there is going to be random arrangement. Now it's very obvious now, as I said, that the type of arrangement is related to the geometry. So therefore, when we talk about amorphous solids, we are going to say that it is going to have a irregular geometry. Now many times, my dear friends, please be very clear, what happens is, shouldn't say that crystalline solids are those which have geometry and amorphous substances are those which do not have a geometry. Now see please, the statements are going to be so misleading and the meaning which is going to come out of it is going to be absolutely wrong. So please don't say that the amorphous solids do not have geometry. You need to say that the amorphous solids do not have a regular geometry. That means what? उसके पास geometry तो है लेकिन वो geometry regular नहीं है. समझ में आया? नहीं तो अगर आप ऐसा बोलते हो कि वो geometry ही नहीं है उसके पास, that means हम लोग वो solid है ही नहीं. Okay, so in effect we can also say that they are called as supercooled liquids. Actually they are not true solids. They do behave, they do appear as solids, लेकिन they are not true solids. I can give you a simple example about glass. Glass is not true solid. They are basically nothing but what? They are called as supercooled liquids. Now what do you mean by this? Liquid को जब हम cool करेंगे, we get solid. I hope you know this very well. But then here I am not using the word cooled, I am using the word what? Supercooled. So as a result of it, there is a certain degree of strength which is going to be achieved over there. So that means you are going to cool that liquid to a very very low temperature. Okay, जैसे कि वाटर अगर हम लोग ने लिया, वाटर को जब कूल करते हैं 0 डिग्री सेल्सियस हमें आइस मिलता है, लेकिन आइस क्या इतना मजबूत होता है क्या? Okay, if the ice falls up from our hand, it is going to break because we are not super cooling it, we are just cooling it. Okay, तो अब मुझे यहाँ पर अगर ताकत चाहिए, मुझे वो सॉलिड में स्ट्रेंथ चाहिए, तो मुझे क्या करना है? उसको ठंडा करना एट अ वेरी लो टेम्परेचर. और इसलिए हम लोग उसका इस्तेमाल क्या करते हैं वर्ड का? सुपर कूल्ड लिक्विड. जो जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया है अबाउट ग्लास, विच इज नथिंग बट इट इज सिलिकेट्स ऑफ सोडियम एज वेल एज कैल्शियम. ओके, नेक्स्ट थिंग इज, यहां पर हम बताएंगे क्योंकि रेगुलर अरेंजमेंट नहीं है तो फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रैक्शन के जो स्ट्रेंथ में है उसमें वेरिएशंस है. Okay, there are going to be variations which are going to be observed within the lattice as far as the force of attraction is concerned. So what is going to happen because of that? It's very simple now. The surface area of the substance is the same. It's the same substance. Now where the force of attraction is going to be weaker, what will happen is when I'm going to supply it heat, that particular area is going to melt. But then there is some another area of the same substance where the force of attraction is going to be stronger. So it is not going to be melted at that particular temperature. That is still going to remain in the form of what? Solid. So I need to still heat it, and then that area undergoes a conversion into a molten form. So that means what? I cannot have a single temperature at which the entire solid melts, which I got in the case of a crystalline solid. Here I will be getting a range. From a dash temperature to a dash temperature, the entire solid gets molten form. Alright, so that's another point of difference between crystalline and amorphous. That means here we get a range of melting point. Or in other words, for an amorphous substance, we do not have a sharp melting point. Okay, and as I already told you before, we cannot exactly relate this with respect to the solubility of the water. It can be either water soluble or water insoluble. So we are not going to comment on this because we are going into the theoretical interpretations of this chapter. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज, हम उसके प्रॉपर्टीज के बारे में बात करेंगे. जहां तक इसका प्रॉपर्टीज का सवाल है तो जो भी दिशा में हम उसके प्रॉपर्टीज के बारे में बात करेंगे, फिर चाहे वो मैकेनिकल प्रॉपर्टी हो या ऑप्टिकल प्रॉपर्टी हो, वो सेम ही लगेगा हम. ओके, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी कॉल इट एज इट इज आइसोट्रोपिक. Crystalline substance में I had used the word anisotropic. This is what? Isotropic. That means the physical properties are going to be same from all directions. Okay, so we are going to call it as what? Isotropic. And as I told you, the best example for this is going to be what? Glass. So this is the way, the most important difference that we can talk about between crystalline and amorphous is crystalline, orderly arrangement. Amorphous, it's not going to be an orderly arrangement, it is irregular. Crystalline are going to be called as true solids. These amorphous are not true solids. Okay, they are also being called as pseudo solids. Pseudo मतलब समझता है, मतलब solid है नहीं लेकिन दिखावा करता है as a solid. It appears like solid. Pseudo means false. Alright, so it appears like solid but it is actually not solid. Okay, it's also called as a supercooled liquid. Next thing is, we talk about as far as the properties are concerned. For crystalline, we are going to call it as anisotropic, whereas in amorphous we are going to call it as isotropic. And then finally, point of difference is, for crystalline we have a sharp melting point, whereas for amorphous we do not have a sharp melting point. In fact, we get range of melting point. So I hope you understood the initial part about this particular chapter, where we first of all talk about what exactly solids are, that form of matter which has got rigidity, the force of attraction is going to be highest, therefore they will be having a geometry. And then depending upon the arrangement of the constituent particles, the solids are of two types, that is crystalline as well as amorphous. I hope you have understood up to this. Now when I talk about constituent species, जब मैंने particles के बारे में बोला था आपको, particles का मतलब होता है it can be either atoms, ions or molecules. So depending upon that, we have different types of solid crystals. So सबसे पहले we are going to talk about the covalent crystals. Now, when we are going to use this word, the covalent crystals, आपको forces of attraction तो मालूम होगा. Okay, that means there is going to be an ionic bond, there is going to be a covalent bond. So यहाँ पर जो covalent bonding है, that is what is related to what? Covalent crystals. So here, the atoms are going to be linked with each other, or we are going to use the word particles. The particles are going to be linked with each other by means of covalent bonds. Okay, and covalent bonds are nothing but formed by sharing of electrons. Okay, ये बात आपको याद रखना है. Next thing is, it's going to be hard. मतलब force of attraction is going to be obviously very high. अभी force of attraction ज़्यादा है, strength ज़्यादा है, तो इसका मतलब ये हो जाता है कि the melting point is also going to be what? Very high. Example हम लोग ले सकते हैं, that is diamond. डायमंड में एक्चुअली नेटवर्क टाइप ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर है कि जहां पर एवरी कार्बन इज बीइंग कोवेलेंटली बॉन्डेड टू 4 अदर कार्बन, एंड दिस चेन गोज ऑन कंटिन्यूइंग ऑन एंड ऑन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी से डायमंड इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी हार्ड. And if you want to cut the diamond, there is something art which is related to that. You cannot just cut it as easily as possible. Alright? So diamond is one of the best example under what? Covalent crystals. Next thing is, after covalent crystals, the next part that we are going to talk about is molecular crystals. Now when you talk about molecular crystals, here the constituent particles are going to be nothing but what? Molecules. And they are going to be attached with each other, bonded by means of van der Waals forces. And you must have heard about that van der Waals forces basically are what? Weak forces. So there is going to be a weak force of attraction. Okay? और ये force of attraction weak है, इसका मतलब हम क्या बोलेंगे कि the solid is going to be soft and it can be easily cut. Okay, next is उसका जो melting point है, that is going to be low. I give you an example for this, and that is solid carbon dioxide that comes under this category. क्योंकि देखो इसमें क्या होता है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड की जब बात होती है, the very first thing which clicks in our mind when we come to know about carbon dioxide is what? It's a gas. So its natural existence is gas, and every substance is going to be stable in its natural existence. But here I am not using the word gaseous carbon dioxide, I am using the word solid carbon dioxide. So it's very clear that solid carbon dioxide is not its natural state. And when a substance is not in its natural state, so obviously it's not going to be that strong enough. Okay, we are going to bring about certain changes as far as the temperature and pressure is concerned, और तब जाकर उस गैस को हम सॉलिडिफाई करते हैं और हमें मिलता है सॉलिड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, जिसे हम लोग ड्राई आइस के नाम से भी जानते हैं. ओके, तो उसके पास इतना ताकत नहीं रहता है. ओके, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी से दैट देयर आर गोइंग टू बी वीक वैन डर वाल्स फोर्सेस, और इसी वजह से हम बोलते हैं कि इट्स गोइंग टू बी सॉफ्ट, और वो सॉफ्ट होने की वजह से उसका मेल्टिंग पॉइंट इज आल्सो गोइंग टू बी व्हाट? लेस. Okay, so that comes under the second category. After covalent crystals is what? Molecular crystals. The third part which we go into, I would say हम लोग बोलेंगे about ionic crystals. Now from the name itself, I guess it's going to be very clear to you all. When you talk about ionic crystals, that means it is being made up of what? Ions. Okay, the particles are going to be nothing but ions, and that also the ions are also oppositely charged. क्योंकि यहाँ पर solid की बात होती है, crystal की बात होती है, so there has to be a force of attraction. And when we talk about charged species, the force of attraction do exist between the oppositely charged species. It doesn't take place between the similar charges. Similar charges repel, opposite charges always attract. तो इस वजह से हम यहाँ पर क्या बोलेंगे? The constituent particles are nothing but they are oppositely charged ions. उसका जो अरेंजमेंट है वो भी मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि let us consider this is a lattice. And if you are going to show the ions in this particular format, now we have a cation over here which is positively charged ion. So immediately it is going to be in contact with the negative ion, and in this way the pattern continues. So you can check it out that every positive ion is in contact with a negative ion and vice versa. And as a result of which there is going to be what? A strong force of attraction. And because of this strong force of attraction, what are we going to say? That this ionic solid is going to be soft, or is it going to be hard? It is going to be hard. Next thing is, if I want to break this bonds, or if I just want to make the bonds loosen enough, so that this entire solid is going to melt, it gets converted into a fused state. So as a result of which मुझे वहाँ पर ज़्यादा energy देना पड़ेगा. इसका मतलब melting point is going to be high. So strong force of attraction के वजह से दो properties हमें देखने को मिलती है, जैसे मैंने आपको covalent crystals में explain किया था. One is hardness and the other is going to be what? Higher melting point. Next important thing which I want to tell you about this ionic solids is, and that is about conductivity. Now you must be knowing it, what is conductivity is all about. I'll explain you the basics. Conductivity is nothing but it's all about flow. Now that flow can be either with respect to heat or it can be with respect to electricity. But it is basically associated with what? Flow. That means movement from one particular part to the another part. Now you know very well कि अगर हमें एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना है तो सबसे जो अहमियत है जिसकी हमें ज़रूरत है उसके बिना हम एक जगह से दूसरी जगह नहीं जा सकते, और वो क्या है? जी हाँ, एनर्जी. राइट. तो ऐसे यहाँ पर भी हमें एनर्जी जिसके पास है उन पार्टिकल्स के बारे में बात करनी है. एंड यू नो वेरी वेल कि चार्ज का मतलब होता है एनर्जी. इफ यू डोंट नो देन प्लीज फिक्स इट इन योर ब्रेन्स. Charge means energy. So that means any substance which has got charge, it has got energy. And when it has got energy, so obviously it is going to move from one particular point to another point. So these ions are charged species. They got a charge, positive ion and negative ion. Therefore they got energy, and therefore we say that the ions are mobile. कभी एटम के बारे में ऐसा बोला है कि एटम्स आर मोबाइल? कभी सुना है आपने ऐसा? सुनना भी मत. बिकॉज एटम न्यूट्रल होता है. And neutral substance है, so that means उसके पास एनर्जी नहीं है. And if it doesn't have any energy, it cannot move from one point to another. इसलिए आप लोगों ने सुना रहेगा atoms are stationary. तो यहाँ पर क्या होता है कि when we talk about ionic solids, most of the students say that sir ये ionic solid है, उसमें ions है, ions can conduct electricity and therefore ionic crystals are good conductors of heat and electricity. My dear friend, that is not exactly right. Please be very clear. Conductivity is not because of the presence of ions. It's because of the presence of free ions. This word is very important, free. आयंस मौजूद है तो एक सब्सटेंस कंडक्टर बन जाता है, ऐसा नहीं है. हमें वो आयंस क्या चाहिए? फ्री चाहिए. फ्री चाहिए का मतलब क्या होता है कि वो बॉन्डेड नहीं है, वो एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जा सकता है. लेकिन यहां पर मैंने क्या बताया है? These ions oppositely charged, they are going to be held very strongly by the ionic bond. So that ionic bond is not going to allow this ions to go from one particular position to another. And that's why these ions are going to be what? Rigid. They are going to be fixed. So in this situation they cannot conduct electricity. And a substance which cannot conduct electricity are nothing but insulators. So that's why we say that these ionic solids are going to be insulators at a low temperature. Okay, the temperature is what? Low. क्योंकि अगर temperature low है तो इसका मतलब the bond is going to be very strong. So that means, in other words, see, as I said, the bond is going to be responsible to make sure that the ions are going to be rigid. Okay, now if I want the ions to move away from each other, that means I need to break the bond. Okay, the bond are strong, so that means the amount of energy which I require to break the bond is obviously very high. So therefore what we say is that at a higher temperature, as the temperature increases, the bonds break, and therefore we say the conductivity increases. You understanding this part? So please don't just pass a general statement that all ionic crystals are going to be good conductors of heat and electricity at any temperatures. No. It is always at a high temperature, it's going to be a good conductor of electricity. At a low temperature, it is going to behave as what? Insulator. याद रखेगा इस पॉइंट को. एंड जहाँ तक इसका एग्जाम्पल का सवाल, आई गिव यू द सिंपलेस्ट एग्जाम्पल. आई गेस एवरीबडी नोज अबाउट दिस. सोडियम क्लोराइड. सोडियम क्लोराइड किसका बना हुआ है? पॉजिटिवली चार्ज सोडियम आयंस का और नेगेटिवली चार्ज क्लोराइड आयंस का. सो एवरी सोडियम आयन इज इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद अ क्लोराइड आयन, या फिर हम बोल सकते हैं एवरी क्लोराइड आयन इज इन कॉन्टैक्ट विद अ सोडियम आयन. सो दैट मीन्स देयर इज ओनली एंड ओनली फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन, देयर इज नो फोर्सेस ऑफ रिपल्शन, एंड देयरफॉर दिस क्रिस्टल, दिस सॉलिड इज गोइंग टू बी स्टेबल. Am I clear with this part? So